Very much so. There's not a lot of boring times at
No, it's true. It's not your regular day at the office. Catch us up. What's going on?
Well, in the mid-season finale, a lot of things got paid off. It's one of the fun things about season 2 is nothing's kind of held out for long. What was clear was that Coulson was perhaps losing his mind because of the alien blood that was in him, and he was carving maniacally everywhere, and people were afraid that the only person responsible for what's left of S.H.I.E.L.D. was going around the bend, and to have that turn out to be some kind of implanted memory of this long-buried alien city where people could be transformed. To me, that's as a comics fan, as a sci-fi fan, I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
But then to have that lead to the death of one of our most beloved team members, both in the cast and on the show, has really been rough on all of us, both the actors and the characters. And to have Coulson's kind of beloved daughter figure, Skye, suddenly be something else, and we don't quite know what. It's a hell of a cliffhanger. I wish we would come back so I could get some answers.
We will, right? We will get answers again.
Yeah, it's very clear in season 2.
Yes.
You're going to get the answers quickly.
Yes. You mentioned your fans, and how great it is for a true fan. How is your sense of how much feedback do you get from fans?
Boy, much more than we ever did before because of things like social media.
Yeah.
And the Marvel fans have always been people who are very involved with social media and very kind of internet and tech savvy. And, when we were trying to get the show off the ground and there was things that we were still figuring out about how to bring the Marvel Universe to television, they were very beautifully opinionated and vocal in letting us know what wasn't working. And I'm lucky to have kind of writers who, were limber and flexible and able to really adjust to that. And Marvel's really good at kind of making the show be what our Marvel show needs to be. And to have the kind of swell of support really grow this year and have people really get behind what we're doing really makes it a hell of a lot easier to go to work.
You mentioned the Marvel Universe. Talk about a universe that's expanding. It just keeps going. And one of the fascinating things is how it, especially, you more than any would know, how it jives with the movies and the shows. And talk a little bit about that.
As someone who is a fan of storytelling, one of the things I liked about this and why it's been something I've been excited to be part of is you'd see it in the comics. You would introduce a couple of characters and then you do a group book called The Avengers, for example. You would see different characters go from different ones. You'd see kind of storylines that ran over a couple of years. You'd see ones that started, left you something valuable and then flamed out. But it all was this one giant tapestry. And you were rarely asked to buy something in one story that didn't exist also in the other. To be part of a story that's being told over starting to be hundreds of hours, over a bunch of different media, is exciting. It kind of, I remember years ago I went to see this amazing director, Peter Brook, did a 9-10 hour adaptation of the Mahabharata.
I remember it.
And there was Nicholas Nickleby, and you go, how am I going to sit through 12 hours of theater? And by the end of it, you went, I kind of never want to see anything else because the power that a story can gain and the connection to a character that you can build over 10, 12, 50, 100 hours is different. And to have people coming back to season 2, asking less, which Avenger's going to be on your show, and more, I'm so worried about Fitz and Simmons. What's Skye becoming? It takes a while to get to know these characters, and it's one of the things that it's interesting.
Yeah.
I play video games lately, partly because they're fun, but because there's storytelling going on in video games where it's within a certain parameter, but you get to choose, and I'm fascinated by that kind of storytelling. I don't know where the limits end. At what point is Phil Coulson a character in a game that you can then play and go make some of the choices that I make?